At 79, I've seen the world change in more ways than I can count. But there's one decision I made that I still think about every day: moving into assisted living. At the time, it felt right. My kids were concerned, the brochures looked beautiful, and the idea of comfort and care sounded like a dream. But I soon realized that dream had some harsh realities. If you or someone you love is considering assisted living or a nursing facility, stay with me till the end. I'm going to share 6 things I wish I knew before I made that move. These aren't things they put in the pamphlets, but they're the truths that changed my life. Regret 1. The disappearance of daily freedom. When I lived in my own home, I didn't even notice how precious my little choices were. I'd wake up when I wanted, open a window, make my own tea, strong, no sugar. But after moving in, I learned that freedom doesn't leave all at once. It slips away moment by moment. Suddenly, breakfast had a fixed time. Lights out happened even if I wasn't sleepy. If I wanted to go outside, I had to ask and wait. I remember one morning, I put on my shoes just to sit by the garden. A staff member walked over and said, "Sorry, it's not outdoor time yet." And just like that, something simple, stepping into the sun, became complicated. Ask yourself, are you ready to give up the rhythm of your own life? Because that rhythm, once broken, is hard to restore. Regret 2. Becoming invisible to the world outside. When I first moved in, there were phone calls, flowers, weekend visits. My grandchildren even helped me unpack. But slowly, the calls became texts, the visits became promises, and the promises faded into silence. It's not that they don't love me. Life just moved on for them. New jobs, school, kids. But for us inside, time stands still. One Christmas, I waited in the common room for hours with my red sweater on, excited like a kid. No one came. I told myself they must be stuck in traffic. But deep down, I knew I was no longer part of their daily lives. Ask yourself, will you be okay with being remembered only occasionally? Because that's the quiet heartbreak no one prepares you for. Regret 3. Losing my sense of purpose. Before moving, I felt useful. I still cooked simple meals, kept my space tidy, called old friends. I even mentored a local teen in carpentry. We built a birdhouse together once. But in the facility, everything is done for you. No more fixing squeaky doors. No more boiling tea. No one to teach, no one to help. A woman I met, Eleanor, used to run her own bakery. Here, she just sat quietly. One day, I asked her why she stopped baking even just for fun. She said, "When someone else needs the dough, you lose the joy of baking." It's true. When you're no longer needed, you begin to feel like a shadow of who you were. Regret 4. My health declined faster than expected. This one surprised me the most. Before moving, I walked daily. I made my bed, did light gardening. These small things kept me going. But in the home, everything was taken care of. Meals delivered, beds made, hallways cleaned. Without realizing it, I moved less. My muscles weakened. Stairs became harder. Even buttoning my shirt took effort. There was a gentleman named Roy, a former postman, always on the move. After a few months of staying mostly indoors, he needed a walker. He once said, "The minute I stopped moving, I started fading." It's true. Comfort can quietly become a cage. Movement is life. Never underestimate it. Regret 5. Saying goodbye to privacy and dignity. At home, I had my quiet corners, my favorite chair by the window, and my own bathroom. Privacy wasn't something I thought about. It just was. But here, knock knock, enter, daily checks, shared rooms. Even choosing when to shower depends on staff availability. I remember once, I was changing clothes, and someone walked in without waiting. I know they didn't mean harm, but still, the feeling lingered. That loss of control over your own space, it chips away at you. And then there are roommates. I've been lucky, but I've heard stories, snoring, shouting, unclean habits. Sharing a room sounds simple, but when you've lived a life on your own terms, it can feel like a constant invasion. Ask yourself, can you let go of solitude, of peace, of personal space? Regret 6. Leaving isn't easy, even when you want to. I told myself I'd try it out, that I could always return home if it didn't feel right. But the truth is, returning isn't simple. My house, once full of life, sat empty. My kids had rearranged things, donated some furniture. And after being away for months, I didn't feel strong enough to manage alone. Fear crept in. What if I fall? What if I forget my medication? And just like that, the very independence I once had now felt like a risk. I know others who wanted to leave too, but the longer you stay, the more you adapt, and the harder it becomes to imagine any other life. If you're considering this move, remember, what feels like a trial period might slowly turn into a permanent situation. I don't regret growing old. Aging is a privilege, but I do regret not exploring more options, getting a caregiver, modifying my home, even trying community support before deciding on assisted living. So I ask you, is this move necessary or just convenient? Because every sunrise in your own home, every cup of tea made by your own hands, every book read in your favorite chair, those moments matter. And once they're gone, you'll miss them more than you ever thought possible. If you found this video meaningful, leave a comment with one thing you're taking away today. It could help someone else who's facing this same decision. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're building a place for honest stories, heartfelt wisdom, and support for the journey ahead. Thank you for listening. I'm honored you spent this time with me. See you in the next one.